I said you'll have fun, and I won't disappoint you.
Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. And tonight, it's going to be pure nostalgic wax. We don't have anything to show, nothing to discuss as far as new releases or a new collectible in the collection. Tonight, it's all nostalgia. Inspired by the season, the greatest Kiss Christmas my neighborhood ever saw growing up. So I was introduced to Kiss winter of '88, and that would have been my freshman year of high school. So fast forward to the winter of '89, my sophomore year of high school. This magazine came out in November '89. So the winter break of '89 was full on Kiss. We had Hot in the Shade, I had Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, and I do remember listening to the first album a lot. I can't remember if it was on cassette or CD. I did have both. Cassette obviously first, and then November '89 we would have been, that winter, definitely diving into that back catalog on CD and slowly but surely amassing that wonderful catalog. And then you fast forward a smidge to my junior year, 1990 Christmas, and like magazines like this were out. Again, just huge nostalgic magazines for me. But it's funny because I have not thought about this probably since my junior year of high school, 1990. I pulled this magazine out tonight to talk about loving this magazine. I just remember that yellow was always in my hand. I must have looked at this magazine, I can't even name how many times, but it's just one of those magazines that you pick back up and you remember seeing these pictures for the very first time. Pre-internet days, you didn't see this stuff. Just magic. Absolute magic. This was my very first Kiss button ever. Those wonderful Barry Levine Mylar shots. Dang. But anyway, back to my point of this is I haven't really thought about this magazine a lot since probably 1990, and I totally forgot that this magazine came with this poster that for some reason I still have. And this thing hung up on my wall my junior year of high school, and especially at Christmas time, because it is this, the classic Christmas poster. Them holding the candles. Gene, I believe, has like an eyeball ring. Yep, there it is. I literally have not seen this probably since my junior year of high school, and I still remember that eyeball ring. See, now this is what we're talking about when we talk about nostalgic wax. I remember, I don't think this hung up on my wall all year long. I think I definitely, when my mom put up Christmas decorations, I think I added this poster to my wall probably every year I was in high school. And I can't believe I still have it. But that brings me to the point of the magic of the 1990 Christmas in our neighborhood. Myself, Danny, and Brett. 1990 Christmas, Danny, Brett, and I were very much traveling down the back catalog on compact disc rabbit hole. So that Christmas we decided we would each buy each other a CD for Christmas. $9.99, Super Saver, done, and we're all happy. And I want to say we exchanged gifts on Christmas Eve. Wasn't Christmas Day because some magic happened that day. But I want to say it was on Christmas Eve, and that night Danny gifted me with Dynasty. And that night at home in my house, listening to Dynasty, Christmas tree, lights on, the magic of the holiday in the air, this became a Christmas album for me and has been ever since. Hence, anytime it snows, Dynasty comes out, and I basically owe all of my love to this record, to Danny and Brett, that Christmas, that magical Christmas of 1990. Now, the next day, eureka of magic. Now, of course, Christmas morning, none of us were hanging out. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, Danny's family was always the first done with Christmas. My family took a while because it took a long time for my aunt to come over to our house. Most of the time she wouldn't have her presents wrapped, and so she was always late. You'd have to wait for her to wrap presents, and then we could finally get started on opening presents. And I want to say we usually averaged around the 11 o'clock hour. And so it would be like the 1 o'clock hour before my family was done opening gifts and you could like hang out with your friends again. But I want to say Brett's family took even longer. They had a very large extended family that would all gather at Brett's house. And so Brett's Christmas Day opening kind of ventured from the afternoon to the early evening. So we didn't see Brett that Christmas until that night. And this is cool. Now you have to remember this is the very early 90s, and so CDs and Christmas time, it was, hit or miss that you would get maybe 1, 2, 3 CDs at the most. Brett struck the mother lode, and as we were all hoping to get that back catalog on CD, Brett got the entire catalog that he was missing up until that point. And I do recall the main ones that it was like unbelievable that he got were the solo albums. Paul, Gene, Ace, and Peter. That almost seemed unbelievable because at the time we hadn't heard these CDs. And, to plunk down $10 when I wasn't working yet, Danny was probably still a bonanza, to plunk down $10 on an album we hadn't heard, that was kind of crazy. But Brett had this extended family, plus his mom, dad, brother, sister, so he could ask for a CD from everyone and get the entire Kiss catalog. So when we were finally able to hook up with Brett in his basement, it was just like we were like 3 kids in a Kiss candy store with all these CDs in their beautiful high school version jewel cases, just opening them up, randomly putting them in, the boom box that was downstairs in Brett's basement, and hearing "You Matter to Me" for the first time, smelling the liner notes, how good they smelled. These smelled like fresh, good, expensive ink. And gosh dang, it's just a beautiful Christmas memory I have of being a Kiss fan as a kid, and just a moment of discovery. And not jealousy by any means, but you were like, holy crap, this is obtainable. I want the entire catalog on my dresser as well. And so it was just a good time to be a Kiss fan. A little TMI, but that's what we're here for, right? We're here for nostalgia. Brett's brother lived in Hollywood. He still is a very talented guitarist and musician, and back then he was a studio musician who often did soundtracks for the adult genre of movies, and this was in the VHS boom of the golden era of that cinema. And so every Christmas Brett's dad would get a box of those fantastic movies direct from Hollywood. And 1990, one of the ones inside was 1989's Immorals Part 1, Broken Hearts. And those glorious Christmas days, I became a huge fan of Stephanie Rage and a huge fan of that movie. And just memories like this, I am glowing with nostalgia right now. It was just a great time to be young, a great time in our neighborhood. There was no internet. We still dialed up on the phone to talk to one another. you hope to see like a bedroom light on or Danny's Camaro outside to know if like we were hanging out. And we didn't have a phone to read everyone's thoughts every 2 seconds. Sometimes I get very frustrated with social media, and sometimes I wonder why the hell I'm even doing this. Kind of today, I was feeling this way. I just kind of wanted to just stop, like, why am I doing this? Like, sometimes it feels like you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, and I'm not very good at this. I'm definitely not good at like doing track for tracks on albums and like album reviews and sitting down with like good Kiss information to like share to the community. That's not me at all. And so like sometimes I'm like, why am I even doing this then? But I'm doing this because it's fun and it's nostalgic for me. And like sharing this stuff tonight is pure nostalgia. It probably means nothing to any one of you, but it just reminds me of a very, very cool time to be a Kiss fan, and it makes me thankful that I am a Kiss fan all these years later. So just some nostalgic fun. If you have any nostalgic Kiss memories at all, doesn't have to be the holidays, just a time from your youth, your childhood, where there was just simple Kiss friend fun. Leave me that in the comments and let's wax some nostalgia. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and thanks for listening to an old man ramble his old man tells about Kiss fun in the early 90s. Pee-wee, sometimes sometimes I feel like Danny Glover. We're getting too old for this shit.
Go spit.
But if you would like a Christmas gift for yourself or the Kiss fan in your life, our book, Rock and Roll Night Journal Every Day, is on Amazon. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for waxing rock and roll Kiss nostalgia with us here in the Wax and Nine house. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care. Be safe. We will talk to you next week.